demanding legalization for all, not half measures, not political compromises, not silence dressed up as progress. We truly hope that what we are witnessing now with Operations Metro Surge is the moment you finally grow a pair and do what is right before you exit the governor's office. Legalization for all is not radical, it is necessary.
Legalization is not radical, it is necessary. Well, I have an idea, novel idea here. All of these illegal aliens, they can go be legal in their own country. You know, if you're an illegal alien in the U.S. from Honduras, you can go be a legal resident in Honduras. You can go be legal in Guatemala or Mexico or Cuba, wherever else you're from. Go, you're free to go be legal. In fact, right now, the Trump administration is paying these people, what, $1,800 check and a free plane ticket. We're trying to pay these people to get out of the country. They're still not taking up the offer. Now, ladies and gentlemen, because of all of this fraud that has gone on in Minnesota under Governor Tim Walz's leadership, we have a massive update on SNAP. And I think you guys are going to like this one. Listen up.
Now says that everyone who's on SNAP is going to have to reapply. Now, this happened, of course, when the government shut down and there was, you know, the SNAP benefits were not getting out to the people.
For 42 million Americans.
For 42 million. Well, we thought Americans.
Inside the country.
People is probably the better. Yep. People. And so Brooke Rollins, we had her on and we had a great conversation with her where she said, hey, listen, this whole SNAP benefits conversation around the shutdown has sort of pulled the curtain back, and people are seeing how many people are on SNAP that aren't actually citizens, and they're going to have to reapply. What do you make of this? I think it's very popular, especially if you go online and look at what people think. I think it's a popular initiative to say these benefits are for Americans. Is she going to be able to accomplish this? Is she going to have some legal challenges to it? What are your thoughts?
Well, I'm sure. You know, everything that comes from the Trump administration, I just track it and see how long it takes for it to land in the Supreme Court. So there are going to be legal challenges. But the thing is, most of these programs with SNAP are administered by the states. And a lot of the states do have verification programs where people have to update every 3 to 6 months or, you know, really establish that they got some kind of need. But maybe she's proposing something at the federal level that would then have a federal component for, you know, applying and proving that you actually need this. Because I think all of us are compassionate Americans. Like, we want our fellow Americans to get help when they need it. And we've all known people, if not our own families, that have walked through these periods of needing this kind of help. But Secretary Rollins also said that she found there were 186,000 checks or SNAP benefits going out to people who were dead. So if that's accurate, that's just kind of the tip of the iceberg. And there are...
I'm sorry. What? Can I break out a calculator? Average SNAP payment is $200 a month. 186,000 people times 200 a month times 12. That is $446 million per year in confirmed SNAP fraud being sent to dead people. $500 million a year. And we're not even talking, we're not even talking about the money that's going to illegal aliens. Those people are alive. Insanity. This is insanity.
Or other problems with the program too. So I think a lot of Americans would say, gosh, I didn't realize before we were having this conversation there were 42 million people on these benefits. Maybe it's, you know, not such a bad idea. Just have...
Listen, it is not a controversial idea to say SNAP should be for Americans only. For Americans that need it only. Illegal aliens, what are we going to do? What is the left-wing game plan here? That we should have an open border, that we should allow every single human being from all over the world flood into our country, and then what? The U.S. taxpayer is going to pay for everything? We're going to pay for their food, for their housing, we're going to pay for their medical. What? This is not a tenable strategy, and it makes you realize, just kind of thinking through, like we just did, we thought through this. There's no way. The numbers don't check out. This is insanity. The only person that would push for this, the only person that would push for free taxpayer-funded benefits for illegal aliens, food, medical, otherwise, open border policy, everybody can come. The only person, the only type of person that would push for that is somebody that wants to destroy this country. Obviously, the country, if that happened, the country would implode. We would buckle under the stress of all of these systems. the country would crumble apart. Obviously. And so therefore, it makes sense. The only person that would ever push for this is somebody that wants to destroy the country. Obviously, the country, if that happened, the country would to destroy the country, crumble apart. Now, we've been talking about all of this fraud, this welfare fraud in Minnesota. Well, this morning we got an update from Dr. Oz, part of the Trump administration here, talking about, well, we actually might have a very similar welfare fraud, tax fraud dynamic here in the great state of Maine as well. Take a listen to this. This is hot off the press.
We might have another Minnesota on our hands. Remember that state's program for children with autism, the one where Somali fraudsters set up fake treatment centers and stole millions of taxpayer dollars?
Yep.
Well, the same thing appears to be happening in Maine. 2 weeks ago, Health and Human Services investigators released a report on Maine's autism program in which they identified at least $45 million in improper payments. But that's not all. They learned that the program's payouts increased more than 50% in just 4 years. They found that treatment centers are clustered in small geographic areas, just like they did in Minnesota. They reviewed paperwork that was missing crucial information, like whether the kids receiving these services had been properly diagnosed with autism in the first place. 100% of the claims they examined had problems. And most troubling of all, they discovered that Maine had never conducted a statewide review of its autism program. Once again, it looks like another governor left the cash register unattended, and criminals helped themselves to your hard-earned money. Rest assured, we're going to get to the bottom of this. Today, we sent a letter to Governor Janet Mills and Maine's health commissioner demanding more information about how they're preventing, identifying, and remediating fraud in the autism program and other programs that have raised red flags. If we don't like what we see, CMS will work with Maine to put their house in order. And if we're not satisfied with their progress, we reserve the right to cut off payments entirely. That's what it means to fight fraud, preserve program integrity, and protect your taxpayer dollars. And that's what we'll keep doing every single day here at CMS.
And thank God for that. So you can't help but notice something here. Literally every single state that we look at, every single blue state that we look at has the exact same problem. First, you look at Minnesota. What's this? $10 trillion or whatever worth of fraud? Huh, curious. Okay, let's solve that. Okay, what about Maine? Well, now we're looking at Maine. Oh, guess what? Another $10 trillion worth of fraud? Okay, curious. We got to solve that one. Okay, let's talk about California. Oh, the same problem. Washington, the same problem. Oregon, the same problem. Isn't that a little bit, that's too strange. It can't be a coincidence. Every single blue state has all of these welfare fraud problems. It almost seems intentional. And so thank God now we've got a president in the White House who actually has the balls, pardon my language, to shut this stuff down. If you want to put America first and actually make America great again, stuff like this has got to be shut down. Thank God that it is. Now, ladies and gentlemen, man, this has been one hell of a show. We're running into overtime here. That's no problem. I'm happy. It's a Saturday. I'm happy to be here. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I want to go ahead and take a look at Super Chats, okay? And while I get the Super Chats pulled up, everyone do me a favor. If you're new to the show on Rumble or on YouTube, we're going to talk about our Rumble rants also. Make sure to like and to subscribe. It means a lot. It helps a ton. It helps a ton. You know, there's also something that I would like to say real quick while I have everyone's attention. Ladies and gentlemen, just yesterday, we officially launched the Morse Report channel